YouTube, what's going on today, man? Listen, today's YouTube upload is pretty cool, man. It's me on the bus with the boys, Will Compton, Taylor Lewan. Big shout out to those guys, man. They're legendary. And what we're talking about is my Twitch ban. They were super curious. I opened up, shared my thoughts. We went a little bit more in depth and talked about the ban. I'm unbanned now, and I think my relationship with Twitch is okay, but a lot has changed, and you're going to find out why. Look, if you like today's YouTube video, don't forget to drop a like on the video. And definitely give me a comment on the whole situation down below. And don't forget to check out Bussin' With The Boys podcast. Enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys again soon. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace and love, baby. Whoa! Never made a YouTube upload about my Twitch ban. Figured now's a good time.
I was going to ask, explain this Twitch universe. Are you currently banned on it?
No, I did get banned, though, for saying a derogatory term. The term, you want me to say the term?
Tranny.
It was tranny. You know, and truth be told, I really did not know that was ever used as a derogatory term for those people. I really didn't.
I know, but it's just you're so well spoken, and then you were obviously in a hairy, like watery situation.
Yeah.
And you're like, you just want to say the right thing here.
Yeah, you do. You know, I think I've stopped caring as much about what people think about my opinions. You know, I believe the things I believe, and if people ask me, I'm going to share those things. I'm confident in them. You know, I'm always eager to learn more and to explore the other side of the coin. But at the same time, I strongly disagree with all of that stuff. You know, I think it's inherently unhealthy, and it's a scary precedent to set going forward for young children to say, hey, listen, if they're feeling a type of way, they can do this, and that. I believe, you know, through the way I was raised and now being a father myself, that there's other ways to combat that. And that if at the least, the first thing that we should do is try to find a healthier alternative than the things that we're doing. So, you know, I spoke about that. And there's a lot of trans people out there and LGBT people that probably think that I hate them, but I don't. The real truth is that I feel bad, you know, that they feel the way they do, and I want what's best for them. I just don't think that it's smart to peddle and push the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think that that's bad, and it's been proven to be bad. You know, when you make those kinds of changes to your body and then you encourage them at a young age, that is just...
Twitch is woke now, man. Twitch is woke now, beyond woke, the gaming industry entirely. All these companies and corporations. If you aren't in the front doing the high knees, man, you know, at the front of the parade, ranting and raving, man, happy to be there, you're an enemy. You know, it's just kind of the way it is. I'm not surprised that Twitch banned me for this, you know. I will say, though, I've been streaming on Twitch since before Twitch was Twitch, back when it was Justin TV. The majority of you guys probably don't even know what that is. I mean, I'm a fossil in this world, and I don't have a track record of being banned. Like, I'm not a guy that gets suspended and banned. In fact, it's never happened. So for this to happen the way that it did, we're like, oh, Nick, here's a week. Like, man, a conversation, a phone call was kind of expected from my end, but at the same time, you know, I guess I did break a rule, and when you break rules, you got to face the consequences.
In a world that does that. So I spoke out about that. I did use the word tranny. I did not mean to be derogatory, but make no mistake about it, I was talking shit. Bro, like, I mean, I don't want to sit up here and act like I wasn't talking. I was talking shit, but I'm giving it as good as I get it, because you know, when you open up that door,
yeah, you know,
a lot of these people, they live online, man. And
internet go internet, what?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
them trolls be, they be trolling.
Well, did you become more passionate about this stance once you had a kid?
Yeah, I became more passionate about the stance, and I also became.
Yo, this sip of water was unreal.
Passionate about this stance once you had a kid?
Yeah, I became more passionate about the stance, and I also became more comfortable speaking about it because, like I said earlier, man, I think having a kid and being a parent, a lot of times you hear parents say that, like, you know, having a kid changes everything. I don't know if I believe that. You know, I haven't been a parent for too long, right? But I do believe that having a kid changes the way you think about everything. Mm-hmm. So, look, I kind of always thought this way. I wasn't as passionate, right?
Right, because it's not necessarily affecting or has a potential to affect you.
So who cares, right? Just keep it going. But, I mean, you know, you're seeing a lot more of it, and you're seeing it become an issue in schools, especially here in this country. And I just, you know, I
love when people do the thing where they pretend it isn't happening. And then, like, the people that have the receipts, they throw all the pics and vids and examples of these things happening today, this month, And then there's just a huge backtrack. Like, that whole crowd, the pretend this doesn't happen crowd, they're the worst, man. They're literally the worst.
If and when, hopefully someday we look back on this time and it's a lot different, I would have been super disappointed in myself that I never said anything.
Right.
Straight up. That's what I thought about it. I spoke to my dad about it. Dad, am I making the wrong decision? And like, business wise, yeah, I'm burning all kinds of cash, but I'm set. I'm good. So that's also a different, it's a little caveat.
Yeah, I got all these like Doc fans, that are so mad about the way it all boiled over between him and I and just the boys and I and stuff. And I got so many of these guys that are like, oh, dude, anything for some bread, huh, Nick? Anything for some cash. Like, dude, you're talking to the wrong guy. Holy shit. I'm the guy that says what I want and burns the money. Not that guy. Shit's comical, man, truly.
Conversation too, you might ask yourself, hey, Nick, should you have said something way sooner? Did you hold out because of the bread? I mean, the truth is that I had a kid. That's the truth. And that was a big turning point for me, but it's definitely the combination of a lot of things, man. Either way, I have a community that strongly believes in me. There's so many people out there that
shout out M-Fam, love y'all.
They're just afraid to talk about it, speak about it because you get in big trouble.
Yeah,
you really
it's
do.
scary.
You got to have.
And I don't know about like fear. I don't know if they're afraid to talk about it. I think most people are pretty confident in their words and their ability to say what they want to say. I think they just know that if they do talk about these things in this way, things are going to happen. So it's not necessarily fear. It's just they understand that there's consequences, which is crazy for speaking your mind and speaking the truth, by the way. It's literally the truth. When you say that transitioning is inherently unhealthy, like when you say something like that, it's true. For the mind and the body. Yet people will argue it, and they'll say there's this, and that, and there isn't. And then when you say that, you can get in trouble, and people say you're being transphobic, as if you're in fear. Dude.
Around, man. How do you guys feel about that? If you
I loved everything you said right there. I'm interested too. Like you referred to speaking to your old man. Like I'm sure it's kind of difficult to try and maneuver your words when you're like in a world where it's just chat online. How are people thinking about me? How are people feeling? To where you get to a point of freedom of like, listen, I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna speak on this. You give less fucks about what people think. Was that like a difficult balance when you finally like kind of found that footing?
Yeah, man, a big hurdle, because you don't want to make people mad. Like I don't want to wake up every day and piss people off. At the end of the day, the guy that's tweeting me the paragraph, what he's upset, like I don't want him to be mad or disappointed. I mean, I'm sorry that he feels the way he does about me.
Facts,
I wish I could do something about it. And like if he could really just rip the truth out of my fucking chest and put it in front of him, he would see that I'm not this enemy. Unless he wants that being taught to kids in school, then you are my enemy.
I don't know about enemy. I shouldn't have said that. Like, we're not enemies, but we just don't agree. I'm not like a teammate by any means, I think what I had meant when I was a little bit fired up, man, that neck vein coming out and shit. If you could really get a look, like just a very transparent look, because sometimes it's hard to put your real feelings and raw emotions into words, like just perfectly so that the other person that's hearing this can understand. But if you, the listener, could just grab the feeling out from me and see it in your own way perfectly, anybody would be able to see clearly that this doesn't come from a point of hatred, okay? It comes from a point of health and care and love. It really, really does. I mean that. I care for the people in this world. I care for health and your being, and it being good. These are important things. And I do not think that doing these types of things to your body, I don't believe that it's healthy.
Logically, everything you said, I align with. Especially having kids, you run into those issues with things being taught to kids in school. It's when it's like, hey, you're going to school to learn the things you need to learn at school, right. Not
this dude Taylor is huge, 6'8", chat, 6'8".
What you think the kids should learn, but just like the math, the science, the history, all those things. And then let me go, and then it's up to us as parents to go and now instill these beliefs that we want. If you're a religious cat, you want to instill religion. If you all those things, because it's very difficult for me to understand. Like my children's opinions are really, like the opinions they have are kind of the opinions I have and that they've heard, and so they just feel that way as well. So like, it's just hairy when you start messing with kids and not allowing them to develop and grow the way you want them to. It just becomes more difficult. It gets more difficult to like stand by and just let it
Right,
happen. I
right.
struggle with that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, man. And I mean, you know, people like to say that, oh, you throw being a parent around. You throw being a parent. You know what I mean? Like anybody can have an opinion, even if they're not a parent. I agree with that. I just think that there's a perspective that's gained after having your own kid, which I'm sure you guys can agree with, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, you know how impressionable your kids are, and you know how impressionable your kid is. You know, it's like I know as well. Like when I do stuff in front of my little boy, you know, he does it back, and vice versa. Like we play all the time, we hang out all the time, so we know how impressionable these young minds are. Because we were young too, man. Like it's just not. It doesn't make sense to encourage these kinds of things when we know how kids are.
When you get banned, is this somebody from Twitch reaching out to you, letting you know that you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
get
said
banned?
that. I said that, and they banned me for how long? They banned me for? It was a week. I found out when I was on the way to see you guys in Vegas.
No shit.
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m, and I woke up to being banned. I was like, okay, you know, I didn't really care, man.
Is there not like some strike system or anything? It's just kind of.
There usually is, man, and I don't have any strikes, but I will say.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like
they take that very seriously at Twitch. You know, like, look, I mean, Twitch and just the gaming world in general is very pro all that. So I'm kind of like a dinosaur. I'm off on my own, you know, land. But you know, my community.
I was gonna say your audience.
I think the majority of them align as well. But there are some that have not, and they've spoken about that. You know, but
Was that, and I'm sorry for being ignorant about this. Was that when you were like, we're gonna boycott Call of Duty?
I never called for a boycott. I never.
That was
that.
the audience, though, right?
People were just doing what people do. Right?
Yeah.
I never said like, "Hey, don't play COD." You know?
It has to make you feel good though, knowing your audience is like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's crazy. It's like the internet though. Like it lives for 2 weeks and then it dies. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Don't play Call of Duty ever again." I'm like, "Oh God, man, this entire thing is gonna go in it."
very strange.
That's another thing that people need to realize.
Moments are like
too.
a fart in the wind
Yes.
on the internet, bro.
It's
When things are
strange
good, it's like,
now.
hey, this in a week this will be gone. When things are
Right.
bad, you think the world's coming down. It's like this
Yeah.
is going to be over
Right,
in 24
man, right.
hours.
It's gonna be something new there, but
Something
something
new.
bitch about, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
always something to bitch about, you know, or be happy about. It goes up and it goes down, man.
Right.
You know, right? But that
There-
was a big moment in my career, man. I mean, I've never been in trouble like that. I've never been in heat like that.
Mhm.
I guess per se, you know. I feel real good about it all, man. I'm very proud of myself that I said what I said. I know it's not an easy thing to say, and as time goes on, I'm getting more and more confident speaking on this. I've done a lot of research, man. I've spoken to a lot of people on both sides of it too, man. I think ultimately we all agree that we want what's best for people, you know. And me, you know, I'm a pretty healthy gamer, and that's where a lot of this comes from, man. Is just overall health. You know, like, do you take care of yourself? Is this taking care? You know, I sign off on every fucking stream, every YouTube video I do. I say, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Peace and love, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean that. Take care of yourself. And is that taking care of yourself? Cutting off pieces of your body, taking fucking drugs that are horrible for you, your mind and your body. It's inherently, no matter how you spin it, a very unhealthy thing to do. You know, and I just can't sign off on that.
Right. After the week ban, what's your relationship with Twitch like now?
It's okay. You know, they understand there's going to be different flavors on Twitch, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, man,
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I guess it's not great.
if I had to guess, there's some people in the
Not
office
great.
who really don't mess with me. But it's like, I don't have any weird shit in my heart about it, you know?
Yeah.
Appreciate you speaking on it too. Like,
yeah, no, I don't mind at
Yeah,
all.
you do a good job.
No doubt.
Big shout out to both those guys, man. Will and Taylor, the whole team at Bussin' with the Boys, man. If you guys haven't checked out their podcast, we'll put the link down below to the entire thing. It was like a 3-hour conversation. Hate to, I guess, maybe beat a dead horse too. You know, I'm sure a lot of people probably think that this is done and over with, but it's not. You know, it's when you're a parent, it's an everyday, you know, and then it's something I do care about, man. I care about these kids, and I care about the education in this country and the world, and I care about health. You know, I'll never stop caring about those things, okay? And the big question that I always get is, Nick, how come you care, man? You care so much. Why don't you just go do your thing? Why don't you care is my question back to you, man, you know? I mean, is this not important? Of course it is.